Green flag waves. Look at the starting grid for race 1 out of 14 today. It is DD2 Wertungslauf race. So race 1, let's have a look at the grid. It is Mika Metz that will start on pole position. Fabian Bock will be alongside. So 464 and 481. Hannes Border, the 468 and the 439. The birthday boy today, Laurent Seyfried, starts in third and fourth respectively. Robert Chopin and Marc Bartels. That's 477 and 488 complete the top 3 rows ahead of Janas Stier in the 444 and Dennis Thiem in the 454, completing the top 10 and thereby completing row 5. 401, Yannick Jacobs, and 433, Florian Breitenbach. Leon Arndt in the 442 and Marcel Steinert, 413, complete row 6. Tim Stender in the 409 and Tristan Gebhardt in the 405, complete row number 7 ahead of Denis Chalau and Alex Fielenbach in the 403 and the 431. So, the mind games have started. Mika Metz is the man that is looking to go for the title. And today could be his day. They now come out of the final corner. 14 minutes on the clock. Revs rise. Are we ready? We are green. We are racing, and it's a good start from those on the pole position side, as Hannes Border and Robert Chopin have managed to pass the likes of Fabian Bock and Laurent Seyfried into second and third respectively. So Mika Metz gets the good start. He's been very, very good this season, has the Dormer driver. Chopin and Hannes Border nearly have a little bit of a touching fest there. Front bumper of Chopin nearly went, and that's a brilliant move from Robert Chopin up the Hannes Border. And in the meantime, Fabian Bock has gotten ahead, or stayed ahead of Laurent Seyfried, but Seyfried's got through on the 481, and Seyfried has gone absolutely hell for leather sideways. A minute, I have seen one cart's gone off. Slippery surface, that means do not tell me that rain has started falling. It was just the way that he went through that corner. Laurent Seyfried, he was sideways. The traction is at a premium. Yeah, that says it all to me. They have got no... I will not be at all surprised if we do have a stoppage. But they're all struggling. This now showcases how the drivers are going to have to react, as we've got one driver off through turn 3. And in the minute, it's Robert Chopin that's taking the advantage of these conditions at the moment. He's ahead of the Mika Metz, who's being pressurised by Laurent Seyfried. Fabian Bock is going to the inside. Seyfried has... Oh, my goodness. That was a bit too eager there, I think, from Laurent Seyfried. Went to try and go thread the eye of the needle through on the inside. Well, through the middle of Fabian Bock and Mika Metz, and caught himself and Mika Metz... caught himself out, and also caught Fabian Bock in the process. Well... that is where these drivers are now. There is showers happening, so that's why the carts are all over the shop. So what we would call in the United the slippery surface flag. So basically the water, so a kind of fluid is on the track. So that can be oil, that can be coolant, that can be water. But at the moment, with the showers starting to come down, the drivers are going to have to wrestle with it for the next 11.5 minutes plus an additional lap. And at the minute, Robert Chopin is leading the race by just over a second. Hannes Border, Marc Bartels, Yannick Jacobs round out the top 5 positions. And there is Jacobs, who's just managed to keep past Fabian Bock, who's gone wide and onto the grass. Bock is off the track. And again, you can just see Seyfried's just trying to hang on, and he's just clashed again. And there goes Jacobs round. There's a little bit of contact between the two. And And there's Marcel Steinert. He's trying to close in as Mika Metz has got the gap down to 7/10 between himself and Robert Chopin. That looks to be possibly, just keeping my eyes, well, I've just seen that Alex Fielenbach, that's Leon Arndt that's up ahead. Tristan Gebhardt, I think, is a little bit further behind. Janis Stier's in 11th. Florian Breitenbach's up to 10th. There's Mika Metz actually very calmly using the curbs on the inside of the hairpin to try and get the job done on Chopin. But Chopin's finding grip where Mika Metz is struggling a little bit here, but they're all having to struggle. This is not what we expected to be in the first, you know, if it had been changeable, I was hoping it was going to be before this race. But Chopin just trying to put the power down. The back end's kicking out to the right-hand side. And there's the 413, and that is Marcel Steinert out of the race. 9 minutes and 41 seconds to go, so we'll have a retirement courtesy of Marcel Steinert, but everyone apart from him, as Mika Metz trying to get through on Chopin, but Chopin's just got real good traction at points on the circuit. He's finding that grip, and Mika Metz is trying to respond, trying to use every trick in the book, and again, he's using a bit more curb going through the hairpin, and so are a few others now, so they're seeing happening. Mark Bartels finds himself in a prime position to maybe even go for third, but that depends on what happens with the driver behind, and that is Lawrence Seyfried. And Seyfried, he's sort of wrestling with the kart. The back end's trying to step out all over the place. And he's got Fabian Bock closing in on his 6, and there's the two leaders coming through into turns 1, now into the chicane at 2 and 3, into 4. And Chopin's just using some curb at certain points of the track and put the power down, get the traction on the kart, get the traction on the rear wheels. And Seyfried's using curbing quite strategically. So is Mark Bartels. Everyone's at it at the moment, and the reason being is that it's helping at the moment to keep the karts steering around the circuit. And Chopin's not doing the curbing, not using the curbing on the hairpin, whereas Mika Metz is, and that's where Mika Metz is gaining some time. But then there's other parts on the circuit where Robert Chopin just seems to nail the traction. And here's a move from Lawrence Seyfried, neatly done on that one, up high of Mark Bartels. So 6 minutes down, 8 to go. And Mika Metz has now got the lead from Chopin. So Chopin might have had a little bit of a drama, and he's just kicked up some of the muck off the left-hand side on the inside of turn 1 and brought that onto the track just to try and bring some stability to the kart. 7 minutes and 37 seconds. Running order is, at the moment, we have had a confirmed retirement on a lap 3 from Marcel Steinert. Mika Metz leads the way ahead of Robert Chopin, Hannes Border, Lawrence Seyfried, Mark Bartels, Fabian Bock. And Seyfried, as I say that, is closing in, as is Bock on Hannes Border. Yannick Jakobs back up, so he's recovering from Stender. Florian Breitenbach, Dennis Thiem, Janis Stier, Alex Fielenbach, he shall round out the 15 strong, as that was very, very close indeed between Seyfried and Border. Fabian Bock could get the run on the 439 heading across the line. And Bartels actually drops now down into 6th place as a result of the movements that have been happening with the drivers in front. It seems on certain parts, Hannes Border seems to be able to get away from, well, Seyfried has dropped behind Fabian Bock, so whether Seyfried's had a drama, so Bock would have had fun on Seyfried coming through the final corner, so I thought that might have been the case, that he would have gone through turn 1. And here we go now, Fabian Bock looking at the possibility of a 3rd place finish in this race. Chopin's keeping Mika Metz rather honest. The gap was 6.5 tenths of a second, and that was close between Border and Bock, but Bock's going to use the same strategy like he did last time, which I'm sure of. And Bock, yep, I think Bock has got the move done. A little bit wayward there on the back end for Robert Chopin. And that is confirmed. So Fabian Bock did, as I thought he might, get past through on Hannah's border. So the final corner, it seems to be a pretty good one for Fabian Bock. Here's Lawrence Seyfried. Seyfried up the inside of the 468 from Nies Racing to take 4th position. Closing in on them. Mark Bartels seems to be closing in on Seyfried as well. Chopin's not letting Mika Metz go. This is the battle for the lead. A little bit neater and tidier there from Mika Metz. Robert Chopin still was about 2.5 tenths of a second behind. After, what is it now, 9 laps of racing. We're on lap number 10. Mika Metz, 1 step away, but Robert Chopin's not going to make it easy for him. Far from it. The 477 is coming out of the final corner, and they're across the line. We're into what is now double digits. So we're on to lap number 11 of this race. With just over 4 minutes remaining. That's an interesting battle that I've just seen, as there is... Now, I've just seen Tim Stender and Dennis Thiem. They're back over 9th and 10th position. We head back to the leaders. With 3 minutes and 40 plus a lap to go. Mika Metz still leading the way. Chopin still in chase. Fabian Bock, Lawrence Seyfried, Hannes Border round out the top 5. Leon Arndt, Tristan Gebhardt have got past Alex Fielenbach, and Leon Arndt now in 12th position. It just makes you wonder. Well, Tim Stender has made me wonder something here, because he set the fastest lap of this race, and now Leon Arndt has decided to do that, and Leon Arndt is currently in 12th position. Hannes Border back past Lawrence Seyfried for 4th place. And Bartels and Jacobs are giving chase, but Jacobs has got a real good run on Bartels going into the head, and he gets through. Just under 3 minutes on the clock to go. There, your leader, Mika Metz, had a perfect weekend in the office back at Kerpen in August of this year. He knew that that was what he needed to do to get the run of consistency up to a point where he knew he couldn't be challenged. Looking at it from a championship perspective, Fabian Bock took 20 points yesterday, and I've got a feeling that there's 2 more races to go. So if Mika Metz wins this one and the next, I think that is provisionally the done for the 60 or more. And Florian Breitenbach, he's currently 8th position at the minute, and that has, what has happened is that his run here this weekend has not been as fruitful as he would have hoped. We're into the last minute and a bit or so, plus an additional lap. Next race coming up will be DD2 Masters. Metz has managed to get it from Robert Chopin in the meantime. The gap now is the best part of nearly 8/10 of a second. Yannick Jacobs has managed to get past Laurent Seifried in the meantime, and is closing in on Hannes Border as we've got 30 seconds on the clock. So after this lap, there'll be 2 more to go. We're on lap number 15 out of 17 race laps. Just over the best part of over 17 kilometres. So 17.6 kilometres will be covered, but Chopin again has closed it. Right, penultimate lap. Timer has hit 0 for the first time today. And Yannick Jacobs closing in on Hannes Border for 4th position. He'll have this plus an additional lap to do it. Good run by Jacobs. He looks over his left shoulder to see where Seifried is. And Seifried's a little bit further behind. He's trying to close. But it has concertinaed at the front of the field. I mean, Fabian Bock was a second and a half away from the leader, but now we go on to the final lap. Robert Chopin looking to strike. And he was 94 thousandths behind in terms of the margin of distance between him and Mika Metz. And Fabian Bock fancies a bite of the cake, a piece of the cake as well. The top 3 were covered by less than half a second. Going on to the 17th and final lap. All Mika Metz has got to do is just hold on. The minute he got past Chopin, and Chopin's gone right up the inside of him, this could allow Fabian Bock, who is his closest competitor, an opportunity. And Fabian Bock knows that there is a title on the line and a ticket to the grand finals up for grabs, but it's all concertinaing. There's Hannes Border, there's Yannick Jacobs, but it is going to be Robert Chopin who takes the checkered flag and wins by nearly 8/10 of a second. How's about that one for the books? So Robert Chopin takes the victory ahead of Mika Metz. Fabian Bock rounds out the top 3. Hannes Border takes 4th place ahead of Yannick Jacobs. Laurent Seifried in 6th place. Actually make that, well, he actually got a 5-second time penalty for pushing, following on from incident, so ends up in 7th behind Bartels. Florian Breitenbach takes 8th ahead of Tim Stender. Dennis Thiem rounding out the top 10. Leon Arndt, Tristan Gebhardt, and Denny Chalot rounds out the 14 that finished all 17.646 kilometres of racing. And Alex Fielenbach and Marcel Steinert unfortunately retiring respectively on laps 10 and laps 3.